And hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Three Peas in a Podcast. We've got Super Dave, Big Wave Dave,
what's up?
And Yancey Pants, Mr. Santa Claus, Yancey Pants, and big dumb guy over here on the side, big puffy one, Jamie. All right, we're kicking this show off. This is episode number 2. Got lots of exciting things to talk about today. Pull up my list here because I'm hit the record button and I'm not prepared.
Story of our lives.
Podcast.
Yes,
Always just a little behind.
Podcast notes.
Day late, dollar short.
Well,
but that's what makes it us.
If we ever do a podcast and we got our shit together,
Look out.
Very, very
I don't know
true.
if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It might be that we're
I
done.
don't know, yeah. That might be the end of things.
Yeah.
It could cause some sort of universal phase shift and kill us all.
Yeah.
But basically, we're just 3 normal guys. And just wanted a chance to be able to, somewhat normal.
Yeah. Quasi-normal guys.
Just kind of wanted to come on and give our take and our outlook at things and discuss.
All right. Big Puff's going to step away for a second, turn the AC up. Keep going.
Yeah, he's that menopause is kicking in already. So he gets hot.
He's the hormonal.
But basically, we just, we wanted to get together and talk, current affairs, just life, right?
That's right.
Talk about
Our
what's
take
going
on it.
Yeah.
How we feel about what's going on.
If we haven't offended you, just wait a little while.
Yes. This is a show where we are equal opportunity offenders.
That's right.
Agreed.
Now, here we go. We got some background noise. And there he is, everybody. William.
Future
Bye.
generation of America.
Just like that. He's
Oh
gone.
my God. Funny.
All right.
The
That was
young
my
generation are definitely not morning people.
That was Little Puff. I'm Big
Yeah.
Puff.
Yeah.
Even though
Obviously,
he's
he was
like
not
a foot-
impressed.
Yeah, he's
No.
a good foot taller than me, but he's Little Puff. I'm much fatter.
Comes with age, buddy.
So the big, beautiful Bill.
Big, beautiful Bill.
I'll be
Big,
honest.
beautiful Bill.
I am not up to snuff.
Not up to speed on it.
No. So I'm interested to learn
Well,
anything y'all know about
I mean, I've been following it. I'm guilty of, for the last few months, being a little bit unplugged with all the stuff that's been going on. Graduation has
Throwing you off.
Yeah, with my youngest graduating high school. So much to do. Everything.
Congratulations.
Yep, he's going to go on to bigger and better things, I'm sure. But that took up a lot of time. So, as far as details, they're going to be thin. But the one thing to know is the perspective of the Democrats on the big, beautiful bill is what has been surprising lately. And that's, not surprising, but worthy of conversation.
Yeah.
We're just watching the Democrats respond to it. Every little thing that they can grasp onto, they'll cling to it and try to portray it as this big deal, this big negative thing that the Republicans are pushing on the United States, on the people, and taking away they have to put their spin on it to where everything is taking away the rights of the people because the Democrats are the ones that are going to keep everyone free. Which, it's funny because the first sign of a socialist party trying to take over, maybe not the first sign, but one of the biggest signs, is everything that they say, that they preach loudly against the other party, is exactly what they're doing.
Absolutely what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, and they're really just trying to pick apart the big, beautiful bill. And it's actually, everything has gone very well. All things considered, and considering the magnitude of the big, beautiful bill, it's considered, maybe one of the, if it passes, maybe one of the greatest, at least at this point, one of the greatest change models that our country has seen in
What are the
200
chances
years.
looking like it's going to pass?
Well, if you ask the Republicans, it looks very good. Things are going real smoothly.
Yeah.
They've made some minor changes. They've had a lot of discussions. They've been able to work through a lot. There's been a lot of progress.
Yeah.
And, the dates have not really changed all that much as far as where they think they're at with getting it passed. It went through Congress. The Democrats, crying wolf the entire time. It'll never get past Congress, blah, blah, blah. Well, it did. First try, pretty much. So now it's going to the Senate, right? Am I saying that right?
That's right.
Yeah. Well, if I'm not, I'm sorry. I'm not the perfect educator on the government. I know enough to get myself in trouble.
Yeah.
As long as you
I
know enough to know
talk
they're
about it a little
crooked.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And there's no
that's
end to how corrupt
The
they can be.
corruption.
You
No.
got that right.
No.
Awful.
Well, what are some of the key topics? Or can you point out any of the...
Social Security is probably the biggest one that they've been talking about. And again, that's the things that the Democrats latch on to, is that they're taking away your Social Security. They're taking away your Social Security. That's not the case.
No,
it's not at all.
absolutely not.
Everything that they've done, including what Elon Musk had, is related, but it's not the same thing. But what Elon Musk was trying to do under Doge was to clean up Social Security, find the fraud that's going on.
Right.
Which there's tons.
Yes. And not just
tons.
fraud, but the excess spending that was basically wrapped up in a Social Security blanket,
That's
so
right.
to speak.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, a lot of hidden waste. And they did find a lot.
They don't
Now,
need much.
they were talking about trillions, and they haven't gotten that far. But
Thank
things
God.
don't happen overnight. And again, that's another thing the Democrats latch onto. They try to constantly talk about how the Republicans haven't gotten anything done under Trump, which is the biggest pile of bullshit.
Look at all the
I've
money
ever
this
heard.
country has brought in since he's been in there.
Where are we at? 120 days?
Yeah.
Maybe 150 days now?
and
Something like that. I
he
forgot.
has
Lost
brought
track.
trillions
Yeah.
of investment dollars into our country.
It's the changes that he's done so far are borderline miraculous. I mean, it's
He
crazy.
definitely
that
has
he's gotten,
not been sitting on his blessed
No.
assurance.
gotten a lot
And
done.
just think,
Yeah.
4 years from now, because he ain't gonna, his pace is going to stay the same
Oh, yeah.
all the way through. 4 or 5 hours sleep and work.
Because unfortunately, the way it works is when you start to make changes, it'll get worse before it gets better.
Absolutely.
Nothing happens
Yeah.
overnight.
Tariffs.
So he's
That's
got
right,
yeah.
to stick with it at the same pace to show, hopefully midway through, people are going to see it's tangible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can see it, they can feel it, they can
right.
taste it. What he's been doing is working.
And we will get to that little piece of it here in a little bit, the tariffs issue.
Yeah.
That's another thing that the Democrats have just been latching onto.
Yeah, and they don't bother to say that they've been in place for 100 years, and we're
Yeah.
getting the rod on it.
Well, the funny thing is, and I don't watch CNN, but
No.
on Fox they had a little clip that they showed of Harry Enton. I didn't quite catch the name, but again, I don't watch it, so I don't know who these people are. But he's a Democrat on CNN, just with wild gesticulations, just absolutely animated
Yeah.
over the fact that, and what I thought was funny was that what he was saying was actually totally pro-Republican and made him look like an idiot. But this is what I'm talking about. The Democrats are literally clinging to every little thing that they can
Yeah,
right now. It's a
anything.
downward spiral for the entire party. But he was just, the Republicans still, after the tariffs and after everything that's gone on and the battle back and forth and all that, there's still an 8% lead over the Democrats as far as the viewpoint. And this was a poll that was put on CNN, so
Yeah.
you know it's going to be as slanted as possible
That's
Right.
right.
toward the Democratic
And they
viewpoint.
still had us up.
And it still had, and the guy's like basically dumbfounded. Why? How is the trying to like he's yelling at the people?
Yeah, how could
Why
you?
are you still supporting the Republicans with all the tariff stuff going on?
tell
Well,
you.
that's just it. People are smarter than the Democrats give them credit for. And when I say Democrats, I should be fair. This is still, the radical left is still running the show for the Democrats, and that
It
is going to
is.
be their downfall.
Exactly
because
what's going to take their party away.
The majority of your moderate Democrats don't have terrible points of view. You know, there are some things that are valid,
Yeah, that's right.
but it's completely overshadowed, and it has been for the last couple of years, by the radical left that has literally taken over the party.
Pushing
True.
their horrible agenda.
Yes, and for a while there, they completely hijacked the whole country.
Yeah.
The Republicans were so scared, and when I say Republicans, I'm talking about the figureheads,
That's
Yeah.
right.
that they just laid on their backs and let the the radicals run all over them. Did
Yeah.
nothing. It was sickening.
That's
all the people
exactly
that got
what
canceled.
happened. Yeah. Awful.
Thank God that it's turned around.
Yeah, people got tired of this
People-
shit.
Hopefully people
Woke
can
up.
have seen. I mean, how could you not see all the corruption, everything that they have found, you know, Elon Musk and all of that, and still support that? I mean,
Yeah.
there's no way you can be in your right mind and say,
And that's just it. You know, from the tariffs to Doge, Elon Musk's small role in it, really. I mean, this is just one
Tiny.
little section of what they're trying to do. They already, and I wish he would have stayed in it, honestly, personally.
Yep.
You know, he stepped down. But a couple $100 billion is not a tiny bit of money
Yeah, no.
no,
in a short amount of
No.
time.
no,
The
in a
money
couple
we
of
That's a
months.
wasted,
lot
the
of
money
money.
we were sending to the other countries for whatever. I mean, the list was just like you
There
said.
was
It's
a
like
thing
holy
for
crap.
like $2 million to study shrimp on a treadmill if they tasted better.
Yeah. You got low-fat shrimp.
What in the whose pocket was that going there?
And that's all it is.
It's-
all it is,
it's
it's
our
ways
money.
to hide the money.
It's our money.
There's
for
stealing.
people to get their kickbacks.
That's the whole thing, see? That's the biggest part of this whole thing. A couple $100 billion already.
Yeah,
This literally could turn into the end of the IRS.
yeah,
If
yeah.
they,
and
if
let's
they
hope
could
it
turn
does.
back enough of it. Or significantly reduce the tax burden on the people, that would be the biggest generator of our economy of all time.
Yeah, if you've
And
got
that's why
money
this
in your
bill-
pocket, you're going to spend it.
Yeah, that's why this
Imagine
bill could be
being
so
able
big.
to get out of our deficit.
Yeah, because the big beautiful bill has some problems, and you
They
mentioned
all
deficit.
do.
You mentioned deficit, and that's part of the problem, and that's part of what a lot of all of the Democrats and some of the Republicans that have been against it,
Yeah,
their main concern is the spending.
Yeah.
So there's this battle. There's the upper level where they're trying to raise the debt ceiling, because if you don't, and they're like, no, we can't raise the debt ceiling. We have to keep it where it's at. We have to stop here and fix everything perfectly. You can't do it that way. You still have to raise the debt ceiling, or the government will shut down. That's the whole
exactly
thing.
right.
So you raise the debt ceiling, you give us some cushion, and you work within what you have. And that's what Donald Trump is trying to say. That's what he's trying to show. That's the agenda.
Yeah.
But it's also a big hurdle right now.
Last month was the first month our country was in the red as far as spending. Like, we brought in more than we spent. Last
In the
month.
black.
I'm sorry, in the black.
Yeah.
First time in 50 years.
And I didn't know that. That's remarkable.
That
That's
is-
remarkable.
Yeah, absolutely. It
Yeah,
was
I do remember.
Astonishing.
I do remember something about when Bill Clinton was in office, that we had gotten a balance at some point, closer to a balance, and that
Yeah.
was like one of the big things that the Democrats had accomplished in 200 years.
It's probably when
I'm
he shut
exaggerating.
down and downsized all our military.
Yes.
Oh, that's exactly
That's
when it
exactly
was.
what he did.
Ruined our forces.
That's
Yes.
exactly what happened.
He
did
got
it.
rid of something that we needed
He
instead
did it,
of doing the
but
other
he did
stuff.
it the wrong
right.
way. They kept all their riches.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
right. They
But
kept
they-
all their honey pots.
I'm sorry.
But-
I'm one of those
Yeah.
that was downsized in the military because of
That's
Clinton.
a
But that's
perfect
yeah.
example. That's 100% correct of what
Yeah,
happened.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Closed many home ports, many bases, closed down.
I remember that.
Put like our whole naval fleet in certain areas,
Yeah.
which could have been catastrophic.
You bet
know,
yourself.
They know
That's
where
a
they can
simple
go. That's
target.
where they're all at. And you know,
Well, thank God they're opening up a bunch of these closed bases again.
yes,
You know,
bolstering the military, and that's
Yes.
what we need right now. The last thing you need to cut right now is the military.
Yeah,
You know, we're
This
so
day and
lucky.
age, the way-
Chinese,
yes.
Russians, North Koreans.
we're so
Iran,
lucky that what's
Iran,
going on right
Iran.
now over there didn't happen 2 or 3 years ago when Biden
Yes.
was in there.
Yes.
Could you imagine the mess we would be in?
They could have. That China
We
walked
could
all
have- we
over us
could have
from
got-
an economic standpoint.
Yeah.
And we
With
had
how
no
it
military power.
downsized and how our military had shrunk,
yeah.
if one of those other countries would have took that opportunity,
Yeah.
You
It
damn
could have been
right.
bad.
It could have been real.
it could have been
I'm gonna
bad.
try something here while we're running our podcast. Some soothing background music. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But we'll
Kind
give
of
it a
like the
shot.
aquarium, but I hear you.
You like the aquarium?
The aquarium looked real cool, real aesthetic. Now, what do y'all think?
But do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think they're? Hopefully, they're paying attention to us and not the aquarium. Oh shoot, that's not what I wanted.
Oh, Jamie.
Where'd it go? 70
Squirrel.
There we go. There we go.
Squirrel.
I don't have my glasses on, so I couldn't see that.
This will happen a lot, by the
yeah.
way.
I am definitely the big puffy one squirrel. Big puffy squirrel. It's going to change my nickname now. For those of you that don't know me, my gamer tag on the Xbox and pretty much everything else is Big Puffy One.
Big Wave Dave.
Yancey
What?
Pants. So far, it's Yancey Pants. We got to
Yep,
work on that
that's
one.
all right with me.
You got the best
What was
look,
the other
though,
one?
man.
Uncle
Uncle Skunkle.
Uncle Skunkle.
Uncle Skunkle.
I like it.
My favorite uncle, but he always smells skunky.
Wonder why.
Hey, and that's the other thing. We're kind of starting off on the political side of it. But that is not our base. That is not,
It's just important stuff.
it's
going on
important
right
stuff
now.
going on right now.
Yeah.
But it's not solely what we're,
No.
I think we're going to
Trust
talk
me,
a lot
we will
about
talk
family.
about family,
Yeah.
medicinal,
Friends.
Friends.
Important
friends,
Yeah.
God.
God.
Yeah.
That's really what we're here for.
Yeah. Just your normal
Family
everyday.
values.
Absolutely.
Obviously, I mean, that's an important thing. We all believe Jesus Christ is our Savior.
Amen.
Absolutely.
We're not running this podcast for preaching the gospel. However, that's always part of our lives.
Absolutely.
So you can't take that away. There will be bits and pieces of that. And I mean, honestly, might as well say it up front. If you don't like stuff like that, then this probably isn't the podcast for you.
That's right. You're easily offended.
Yeah, and if
Probably
you're
leave.
easy, probably isn't the podcast for all the reasons why you shouldn't listen to our podcast.
I'm not sure if that's how it says create a podcast.
Yeah.
Things not to do.
Yeah.
We're breaking all the rules. Dang it! That's just the way we roll.
That's it.
I mean, right down to we're all on the same. It's like we all take a drink of our coffee at the same time, so there's this dead space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Works.
Yep.
Rule number 2: make sure that you're not all pausing at the same time.
But this is where we all met, and bonded our friendship was at our church.
Yep. That's
I
right.
knew Jamie before and
Yeah.
he's one that got me to go to the church, and then met Yancey, and we have so much in common, but we have different views on lots of
That's
stuff.
right.
Like we're three
We're 3 pieces
disabled
in a pod, for real.
knuckleheads
Yep.
that
Disabled disciples.
And the good thing is, we're close enough friends, and we're all in the same age group that we understand that we can have different opinions.
yes,
Yeah.
Just
Without
because we
having-
don't agree, don't
Yeah.
mean that I don't love you at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
it's not going to be the end of our
Yeah.
relationship.
That's
for
right.
sure.
Absolutely. And I think more people should be that way. Your little feeling will grow back.
Your
well,
one
if the
feeling
parties
Yeah.
could be like that, if
That's
you
how
could
it's
have
supposed-
2 parties that could,
great
you know,
perspective.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
just
100%. That's what we should be working towards, and I think that there is an element of that, but I think they've kind of gotten away from it a little bit.
Yeah.
Is the unity between parties, and it may not be able to happen with the current Democratic Party.
I don't think so.
We may be witnessing in our lifetime the dissolution of. Is that the right word?
Yeah, I think so.
Of a party.
Sounds
of
big.
An entire
big
party.
word, fancy. So yeah, let's go with it.
Yep.
We may witness the Democratic Party being dissolved and
Yeah.
something
I
else.
think we are.
being
Over the next,
created out of the
over
ashes
Trump's
of it.
term, I think it's going to happen.
You know
Yeah.
what's weird, and I didn't realize it, I guess, because I was so young. But like in the 70s, early 80s, like my father was telling me about how my dad was a Democrat. But in the 70s and 80s, the Democrats were like the Republicans of today. The way they
Switched.
looked.
The parties have
the
flip-flopped.
Yes.
There's
Yeah,
some
and I
truth to
didn't
that.
realize that.
Yeah,
It's
me and
not. It's never 100%, but there are definitely some major things that really did flip.
Yeah, there is.
I don't feel like I'm educated enough to really talk about it, but I have heard that being talked about. Like you said, I remember.
Well, the Democratic Party
wasn't
used
my
to be for
parents.
the people,
Yeah.
and they want you to think they are at this point, but they are.
No, it's about them, the leaders.
Oh,
They're going
It's
to give
about
you
the-
a little bit of this so they can have
a lot of
a revenue to rip off the government.
We are a little bit conspiracy theorist in here, so
Maybe a
taking
little.
that and running with it a little bit on the conspiracy theory end.
Yep.
There are a lot of people that have written books about how the Democratic Party in particular, but not just the Democratic Party,
Yeah.
but actually government,
The government,
which Trump is a completely different entity. We
Trump
talk
is,
about that.
yeah.
But he's literally the people's president.
that's right.
But the Democratic Party, with their agenda, this is not a last 5 years thing. This isn't even a 10 years thing. This is a 50-year project
Yeah,
where the Democrats have slowly fed the people just enough and literally created that addictive need
yeah,
where you have all these programs that pay for the people,
yeah.
support the people,
Almost.
just enough.
Just barely
Just
like
enough
we
to
could
lead them on.
get you a breath of air every.
Yeah. Just like the whole, well, the Democrats were the ones that sent out all them checks to everybody.
Oh, no.
People don't realize the damage that caused. That wasn't free money. That money
No.
came from somewhere. And there was a lot of inflation, rising of prices, everything across the boards made things worse.
Absolutely.
Don't
with-
get me
with
wrong.
those
I
checks.
cashed my check,
Well,
but
yeah,
it was not
it was a great chunk of money for the moment.
Yeah,
But the problem is people have a hard time. The people,
they think it's free.
the purple
They think
Kool-Aid,
it comes from
purple
nowhere.
Kool-Aid haired people that are on the extremist side of the left fail to recognize the long-term effects of something like those
Right.
big
Stimulus
checks.
Yeah,
things.
that's right.
I mean,
That's
that's something
exactly
that's
right.
we're gonna hurt from that for years to come.
For years.
I don't think there's enough that Doge can find that's gonna reverse. People don't realize how much money
Yeah.
the government shelled out.
Oh,
And again, where do they think that money came? The government doesn't make money.
no.
That's our money. That's our
right.
money.
It's our money.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, let's just hope they can get these tariffs worked out where we're not paying so much taxes on everything, or at all. Let's get the IRS out of it. Let's get the
Please,
let's
Lord.
get the let's make
Let
the
this
country
go.
make the money on the incoming,
Yeah.
not
And I hope this ain't off subject, but y'all talked about something about the IRS maybe becoming void.
Thing of the past. Or greatly reduced.
How would something like that work though? If we had no IRS and we didn't have to pay taxes, but then there'd be no Social Security.
No, there will be Social Security.
Okay.
That's the first
that
part
too
that we probably
different?
need to clarify.
yeah.
Well, it's all. Yeah, the tariffs are separate from the big beautiful bill,
Yeah.
but they're along the same goal.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about Medicaid is to get rid of the 242-year-old or whatever that's still paying or still getting
Right.
paid for that money's going to somebody. It's not just it goes to the government. I mean,
Yeah.
they're paying themselves.
That's
with
right
that
back
money.
into their pocket.
Yes.
Somebody.
But it's all the way from the percentage of 80 and 90-year-olds all the way to this 200 and something year old. One of them was like literally. It was more than 200 something. They were literally older than the United States itself. I'm not kidding. It's for real.
Can't make this up.
You can't make that.
You
shit
can
up.
find this. You want to fact check me? Go right ahead. I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm 100% on stuff ever because I'm a goofball.
Yeah.
But on that one, you can find it. Look it up.
It's worth the
I
Google.
implore you, please. Anything that we say on this podcast, look it up.
Yep.
We
Don't
might be
mind.
off a little bit.
Yeah, that's right.
We're on the right track, though.
I agree.
But to get rid of the fraud and to be able to still, there's no reason why Medicare can't exist to help us.
Yeah.
And we're the targets of that campaign, of that smear campaign. People like us, they want to turn us over to the dark side.
Do they
To tell us
charge?
that they're going to take away our disability.
Yeah.
But that's not.
That's
they're
not
not
the
even
case,
looking at
no.
us. They're looking at the people that are getting disability that are able to work.
Yeah.
We've gone through a process.
And the ones that are rich that don't need it.
Yeah. Well, and that I don't even know if they've addressed that. Honestly, probably in some ways they have.
I hope
but
so.
The thing is, there are a lot of rich people that don't collect their Social Security. They never file. They don't. You know. And there should be some sort of
I mean, you ought to get
delineation.
something. Yeah.
You know, at what point do you say, okay, this person doesn't qualify because they have a significant what do they call that for the celebrities? Their worth, their
net worth.
net worth. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you. Once you have a significant net worth at a certain point, then that should disqualify you from collecting government money.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
Yeah,
What
that's
if
right.
it's, money they've been paying in from all their years working too, though?
Well, that's a
Yeah.
good point. That's a good point. I
Yeah.
mean, that is their money. If it's being taken away from
Right.
them, they're
I mean, you
they
can, you
actually
can see
should
both
get it.
sides of
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
that's tough.
It's money that was taken from them for that purpose.
Not that I'll ever have that big net worth or nothing, but still, if I was and I was like, hey, wait a minute,
I'm
I've
still
been
holding
paying
out.
in for
Matter of
20 or
fact,
30
let me look at
years,
my
you know?
stocks real quick. We can have stock talks.
Do you
on
have to pay?
sometimes, too.
You got like you're on disability
Yes.
through the government or
Yes.
whatever. But do you have to pay for your Medicaid or Medicaid?
Yes.
You do. As
to
even
dump it.
hurt veteran, and like you still have to pay for that.
Yeah.
Why?
I get my disability check and they take X amount of dollars
Yeah.
out for my Medicaid.
Because like my mom, they hammer her to like a couple
Yeah.
$100.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know. There ought to be a way for at least our veterans not to have to pay for that.
Now,
I
through
was
the
looking at my
VA,
stocks. What are you talking about?
if the disabled
Having to pay,
veterans,
like I asked if him being an injured vet and whatnot, he still had to pay for his Medicaid, or is the government,
my medical I do through the VA,
Yeah.
that is 100%.
100% paid for.
Yeah.
I was going to say it
That's
should be.
100%. Yes.
So what do you pay? What is it that you're talking about?
For my Medicaid, anybody that's on Medicaid, Medicare. Wait,
care.
I get them mixed up.
I'm
Yeah.
on Medicaid, and I don't pay anything.
No, I think it's Medicare you paid for when you get
Medicare.
65,
It's
yeah.
it's Medicare when you're on like disability, this and that, and
Oh,
they'll
wait a
take-
minute. I think I know what you're talking about now.
they'll take X amount of dollars out each month to
Like-
cover your Plan A, and then you got to have
For-
a Plan B for your prescription, and you have to pay for that as well.
So specifically, and my wife is the expert on this. Honestly, we should have her on the podcast. And she's very good at this stuff. I don't even mess with it. I get to, I mean, as intelligent as I once was, I am too retarded at this point. Wow. If you're offended by retarded, go watch
Sorry.
a different podcast.
Yeah.
No way. I get too retarded on that subject. On things like that, I don't know, I lose my mind and I can't keep track. But I do know a thing or two. And one of the things was I had to start paying for my Part D plan.
Yeah.
And if you don't start paying, taking that piece of that out right away, they will penalize you the longer you wait. It's really messed up.
Yeah.
It's really messed up. Why would you? I mean, what does that have anything to do with? I mean, I didn't get to penalize you when you were taking money out of my check, Mr.
Yeah,
Government, Mr.
that's right.
Uncle Sam. So why are you now penalizing me just because I decided I didn't want to pay into Part D yet? But they do.
They do.
So I started paying right away, taking a little, takes that little piece of my money out. Once again, money that I already paid taxes on. I mean, that's another thing, and that's in the big beautiful bill.
Is it?
No taxes on Medicaid and disability.
Yeah.
That would be nice. 'Cause how the hell do they decide that they can tax us again on stuff that's already been taxed like 17 times?
Yeah.
6 different ways to Sunday. They've
How many-
taxed us.
True.
What percent out of a dollar bill is taxed? They take 17% off when you make it. And then, I mean, they tax that $1
It's a
three
lot.
times before you spend it. You get about 50 cents maybe out
The
of that
ways
dollar.
that they find
Yeah.
to tax us, you have to think of all the different ways that they have come up with to tax that dollar.
Everything.
And there's different levels depending on what you spend that dollar on
That's right.
or how you made that dollar.
Yeah.
There's different levels of how much money they're going to take off of that dollar. And the government has gotten so rich, and I say rich, I mean by fat off of the people.
That's right.
It's not the government itself, the entity
the
itself. It's the
politicians.
politicians that are milking it.
It's that word right there, politician.
I don't want to name drop because I don't want to end up dead. Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, that's right.
But-
I'm 110 and I've been collecting for
Yeah.
80 years.
Yeah. Some dirty stuff too. It's not just investing and making money off of the money that they've already stolen from us.
No.
It's literally stealing within stealing.
They are
they're-
skimming, backdooring.
They already
pieces of
know what's going to
trash.
happen before they buy into the stock. And if you will not be able to convince me otherwise. I don't care what you say.
Nope, that's right.
Those government figures, those politicians in the Senate, they are illegally trading.
Oh, absolutely.
And they did it for years and years and years.
They did it up until just recently. They have tried to stop it.
Eyeballs on them right now.
Yeah,
They're still doing it.
they got
They're
their
a
sister.
lot more
They got their
careful
ways.
about it.
They got
Yeah.
somebody investing for them.
And I don't think that'll ever change. I don't think they'll ever be able to change that.
Nah, some of them making
There's
200
too many
times over
loopholes.
the
There's too
yearly.
many. Yeah.
Just crazy stuff.
Yeah, they go
You
in
can't-
there.
you don't
They're
do that
worth
without insider
a hundred,
trading.
couple $100,000 when they were. Time they retire, they're millionaires.
Yeah,
Multi-
Well,
they don't give a
should be
crap about
strict-
their
there should be
salaries, even though
strict
they still.
terms on what they serve. Because
Yeah.
you got people that are
That's
you know,
in the
doing
that's
it
in
for
the works.
20, 30, 40
it's being
years.
talked about.
You know, and
Damn right, ought to be.
They
term
start
limits.
thinking they're kings and queens, and
Yeah.
they act
And
like
they
it too.
are. They think they
Yeah.
are.
you know,
Yeah, that one. What was that lady? Ruth Bader Ginsburg, whatever. What was she, like 720 years old or
Yeah.
something? She was probably that one person they were talking about that's been
Yeah,
that's been collecting Medicaid longer than the government's been around.
that's probably right, dude. That's exactly right. It's funny,
Yeah,
but
older
it
than
ain't
dirt.
funny, but it is.
right?
Yeah, I think her last name was Methuselah. Something.
Damn.
And she did. She was one of those people that quite the attitude on her up until she started to lose her mind.
Yeah,
Even when, after she lost her mind, I think some things came out that people didn't realize because of her behavior with her dementia.
yeah.
Right.
Bitch was crazy.
Yeah. But yet they celebrated her greatly.
Just don't understand it.
Well, that is.
I tried to avoid politics most of my life. And seems like the last 5 years I've really started, since before Trump goes in last time, started really paying attention. It's like, oh my God. Now I know why I didn't all those
Right.
years.
It's funny
Oh,
because
dude,
the older
it's
we get,
frustrating.
well, the older we get, the more we realize how much it affects our lives.
Right.
When you're
Yeah.
younger,
You
you
don't think about it at
Falls
all.
to
Yeah,
the
it
wall.
all just bounces
At
off
all.
of you. And that's part of the reason why the majority of your Democrats and your liberal extremists, that entire group, from your moderates all the way to your extremists, they're young,
Yeah.
they're impressionable, they don't know what they're talking about.
Clueless.
I mean, all I got.
They hear free.
To
free.
plug another
You
great
get this.
podcast,
We can
Charlie-
do this for you. We
Charlie
can pay
Kirk.
off your bills.
Yeah.
We can,
Yeah,
Yeah.
listen to Charlie Kirk, and you can see the mentality of these college kids. They're just not on a level they should be at that point in their lives. They should know more.
They're so far behind where we were.
But are they behind, or are they just being poisoned along the way?
Poisoned.
Combination.
They're being poisoned along
Yeah,
the
yeah.
way.
No, they're
This
being
is again,
dumbed
that's
down.
that agenda
That's
I
right.
was talking about.
That's right.
This doesn't happen overnight. They've been working on this for decades.
Decades. They're playing 50 years in the front.
The long game, and they
That's
were
right.
winning too. I mean,
Yeah.
they were this close.
Yeah, they've definitely taken some setbacks.
Yeah.
I think people are
Thank the
gonna,
Lord.
Yeah.
All I can say is
God.
thank God for Trump, because he's the one person that stood up to them. Look at what people don't understand just what Trump went through, what he was willing to do
Yeah.
for a country that was shitting on him.
Yeah, that's right.
They tortured that
he
poor
has
guy.
been railroaded for the last 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah. And he stood up to
That's-
him. And he
Anybody
took some
else would have
chances.
said,
That's
I mean, they could have locked him up and threw away the key,
yeah,
and they were close.
yeah. They,
Oh, yeah.
they did everything they could do.
and Trump could have said, you know what, screw all this.
Yeah, it
Just
ain't
go
worth
on
it.
and live his life.
That's right. I'm rich. What do
Yeah.
I care?
But no.
But instead, he is.
His
He
whole
sees
family.
what our country is in. Mm-hmm. And the key there is he's not a politician. You know, he's not a. That's right. He's a businessman.
He's a businessman, and he's showing the people that you can and should run the country like a business, at least to some degree.
It's the biggest
And I'm
business
sorry
in the
if people
world.
don't agree, but one thing I always love is when you're watching those TikToks or those reels, when it shows him around other world leaders, where he's pushing his way to the front of the line, or he's like demand. That's what I want as a president.
Yeah,
That's what I want as a world leader for our country.
The term that I'm thinking right now when you said that, I'm not going to say on the podcast, but he's got that energy for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And those
Oh, yeah.
people respect that.
Big.
Yeah, that's right. It
Yep.
demands it,
Yes.
as our country should.
Like they
We
said
should.
on Police Academy, he's got a set of brass balls.
That's right, though.
Yeah. And as a superpower, that's we. Yeah, we
Yeah,
should be.
you definitely don't want a
As
Biden.
the
No.
You know what I mean?
none of that fluff tart.
puppet.
Good Lord.
Puppet.
Lord, thank you for helping us make it through that
Yeah.
debacle. It
Yeah.
was
That was
wow.
embarrassing.
It was embarrassing. I was literally embarrassed to watch him speak. This is
Yeah.
our president, guys.
And what about the vice president?
Oh.
That chick couldn't talk either.
Well, at least Biden had an excuse.
Yeah.
Camel Toe Harris is just a complete retard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to watch what I say.
Funny.
No, don't watch what you
Absolutely
say.
not.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Say it like we think.
Yeah.
There'll be
right.
some that agree, some that don't. That's
right.
okay.
And I don't necessarily think that. Okay. Like, if you read the Bible, it's written completely different than people talk today.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think not saying cussing is great, but it's part of our language today.
I think within boundaries, you're absolutely correct. Some of the things that we, this is my personal opinion. I could be totally wrong, but some of the things that we interpret from the Bible, we interpret wrong for day-to-day purposes. And
Yeah.
cursing is one of them. But you have cursing, and then you have, I forgot exactly how Jesus said it, or Paul, one of the two. The wasting of words, watching what you say, the things that come out of your mouth or what's in your heart, that sort of stuff, versus actual cursing. Cursing was something completely different.
Yeah.
So curse words, I mean, it's not really, those words didn't even exist back then. There wasn't even a correlative.
That's right.
I don't
The
know if that's the right
times,
word.
as the times changed, the language has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I may not be right.
When I've been working at the school and trying to follow what the kids say now, where do they come up with the stuff?
Yeah.
That's cap. You know what cap means?
No idea.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
lie.
like BS. That's BS. That's cap. What? What are you talking about?
You hear more like no cap was the phrase that they said all the time. I know that William being
Yeah.
no cap. What is that?
That's
No cap.
crazy.
What are you talking about? Here's my cap right here.
Yeah, bro, I'm totally out of touch with that.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's funny you bring that up. You think back a couple decades ago, actually. That's how old we are. The whole
Decades.
Ebonics thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was literally incorporated into video games. Ebonics. I mean, I remember playing Final Fantasy VII or something like that on the PlayStation, and Ebonics was something that was incorporated into that game.
Ain't that
It was very
crazy?
popular. Nowadays, you say Ebonics and people laugh at you. What are you? How old are you?
Yeah.
What's Ebonics?
Pretty old.
Yeah, pretty old.
Pretty old.
Yeah. It's
Old
crazy
enough
think.
to have lived and learned.
Yeah, that's
Something
right.
that this generation has not done.
We've seen more changes in the generations we've been alive than most. Just the transformation from, party line
Millennials,
phones to
Gen-
Party line phones,
know,
pagers, bag phones.
Yeah.
vinyl records,
My
8
son-
tracks,
Yeah.
cassettes.
My son doesn't remember a time that there wasn't a smartphone.
Ain't that
Yeah,
crazy?
doesn't.
that's nuts. And we've seen it all.
We had corded phones.
Oh, yeah.
and party lines and
Yep.
stuff like that. You know?
As a kid, we was on a party line with 3
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick it up and, oh, somebody's using it.
Yeah.
They don't
Crazy
even
stuff, especially if you're
understand
out
what
in the
that is
country.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right, out in the country.
And we've seen it.
Now it's like, I need my fast internet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when we first got internet?
I remember. Yeah, dial up.
Take you 30 minutes to get connected on AOL.
I remember the first
Yeah.
Apple computer and some of
Lisa.
the things that came right after that.
The Lisa.
Yeah. ENIAC. Punch
That's
cards.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we were super young for the punch card part, but it was there. Before,
And
we
now,
literally were alive
These
before
phones have
transistors.
more power and capability than the best computers we had when they first
In the
came
whole
out.
room
Yes.
full of ENIAC.
Yeah.
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 It's like,
Ain't that
holy
crazy?
smokes.
These things are really everything but a phone.
Yeah.
Nobody talks on them,
Yeah.
hardly.
That's pretty true. Hardly anyone talks
No.
on it anymore.
No,
I mean, the only time I ever talk on my phone is once a day when Tabitha's on her way home, and if one of my family members from out of state calls. That's it.
Everybody else gets a text.
It's dumbed us down.
Yeah.
Everybody
I'm
texts.
guilty of that too.
It's
I
hard to
text.
hold a conversation like this with people that you're not friends with, just because everybody's so used to just, well,
People
text.
almost don't even know
People
how
that
to
don't
sit
know
and
how
do
to.
this.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, even this, there's a lot of podcasts where you're not going to find people gathering in a room to do it. It's long distance.
That's right. No fellowship at
Across
all.
town. Yeah. Your interaction is digital.
Which is part of why we're sitting here together, is to fellowship and
Yes.
spend time with one another.
Yeah.
And
That's
there,
all
there
you
may
people
be,
should be doing.
Yeah. There,
All of one. Go find a friend.
yeah.
Please.
Please.
Go find a real friend, not
Yeah.
one that you don't even know if that's really them.
Yeah.
Catfish.
Not on your phone. Yeah. That's funny.
That's another thing. Getting catfished. That's new.
It's like, what the
Yeah.
heck?
It's
That's
new.
crazy.
That didn't exist when we were kids. You didn't
Well,
get
no,
catfished.
there was no way.
What, were you going to get catfished by your pen pal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I
What's
had
a pen pal?
I had
Yeah.
pen pals. And I had actual stationery. You can go to the store and buy nice stationery and write letters.
That's almost non-existent now.
Yeah.
Almost non-existent.
Yeah,
I
you got
think
that
within
right.
before we die, we'll probably see the end of that.
Oh yeah. There won't be a paper.
They don't.
or-
They don't have to have it now,
No.
That's right. Everything
Email's
is
so
digital.
quick and easy.
and people don't even use email anymore.
No. No. I guess you're right. They're
Even
DMing
email
and
is
messaging
a
and
yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's a piece of technology that will be around in some form or function, but
getting
its
being
major
phased out.
utilization, is getting phased out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Other ways of communication.
Yeah.
so crazy.
That's right. Too many other ways.
Could you imagine when we were young, single, whatever, and having the access to all those different dating apps, like hookup apps, dating apps, Christian
never
apps?
got married.
You know,
Goodness.
oh God, no,
Yeah.
no. We had to go meet somebody and
Yeah.
court them, basically court them.
Yeah.
And
That's
those of y'all
dating.
don't know what court, yeah.
Well, my son has a girlfriend that he's had for and he did have what I call a real girlfriend because she was local and they spent time together. But he's had this same girlfriend for like a year and a half now. Went on cruises with his probably future in-laws, and
Ain't that crazy?
yeah, we actually went to Florida to spend time with the family and meet him and all that. I mean, since they had been together for so long.
That's crazy.
That there's no way that we would have met somebody like that.
No.
I mean,
How do you even
never
know them
even
people?
saw him. And having a girlfriend that you hadn't even seen in person before.
Crazy.
I mean, but that's almost. It's not the norm, but it's normal.
That's right. It's not.
Yeah, nowadays, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
it's
a
not like
lot.
And
the
it
primary way.
makes
that,
me think about, like, because I have a about to be 30-year-old, 29-year-old, 21-year-old, but I also have an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old.
Yeah, David's
Like-
got the whole rainbow of
Yeah.
flavors on kids.
So I'm sitting here thinking,
sounded
okay,
bad.
when my
Retract
youngest
that,
Cambry,
X that out.
when Cambry's in 20s, 30s. What's it going to be like then?
Oh my God, dude.
You know, like, oh man, no idea.
No,
Scary.
and you know, that, yeah, if you can't even imagine what it's going to be, how
Well, you know, they're already working on the. You got two things to worry about or to consider: virtual reality
yeah,
and AI. I mean, virtual reality, you don't ever have to even meet in person, and you can literally have an entire relationship together.
yeah.
AI, you don't even have to have a real person.
No,
So, I mean, you know, there's some things to ponder. What direction is our civilization going? We're already having fertility problems. We're already having
birth
population
rates are
decline.
down.
I mean, is this the end of the human race? It's definitely the end of the human race as we know it.
Well,
But is
Well-
it going to be the end of the human race?
And then you've seen these damn AI robots are learning to reprogram themselves.
Yeah.
So it's coming.
Scary.
That is awful.
Scary. We haven't reached what they call the singularity yet.
Wait till they program themselves that what's wrong with the world is human beings, and they start knocking us off.
That's Metallica 1.
Is that Metallica 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been playing.
What's
some good
awesome is the resurgence of these old jams. How the younger generations now are even.
music. Shit, have you?
You know,
they're on tour right now. Have you been following them?
Yes. My
They're doing
cousin
these
went
small
to the concert.
little venues. Well, not small, but
Right.
they are
Yeah.
shredding them, dude. They're like
Oh, yeah.
they're tearing them up. People.
Any
are
of those
loving
old bands that don't get back together and do tours are stupid. They're leaving
Dumb.
money on the
Yeah.
table like
Yeah.
it.
crazy.
A lot of money on
Well,
the
some
table.
of them can't get back together.
Well, like
you know?
Skid Row, they
can't
need
even
to suck it
perform
up
anymore.
and get back together. Sebastian Bach and them go do. You
He's
know,
such a turd, though.
I know.
I watched him on that country reality thing where he was trying to be a country star.
I did not see
He
that.
was such a turd for the whole thing.
Yeah.
I did see him
He's definitely thinks he's up here on the pedestal, you know.
Yeah.
He was on a on VH1. They had a reality show with him. Was it when Ted Nugent, him, some other top musician
It
from
was
Night
Bobby
Ranger,
Brown
and
no, we're probably talking about two different ones.
yeah.
Bobby Brown was on the one. Bobby Brown was trying to be a country star too on that reality show.
I didn't know they even had a. I didn't know they had
all,
that.
all he did the whole time was get drunk in the background. It was hilarious.
That's funny. I'm gonna be a redneck.
Yeah.
Bear.
Well, just like Beyonce winning country music, the AMA.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap! Come on, people.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing. I got nothing against Beyonce, but she's not a country star. I'm sorry.
No,
She didn't.
No.
That's one award she doesn't deserve.
no.
You ever seen that movie Muddy Waters?
I haven't,
She plays Etta James in that. Oh my
but
god.
I am aware of Muddy Waters, the band, the blues band,
Dude.
blues singer.
Is it a good movie?
Amazing.
It is. That bitch can sing. Like
She is
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh,
I'm
no,
not
no doubt.
taking
No
nothing
doubt.
away from
Yeah.
Beyonce.
She is
Yeah.
awesome.
Like,
in
no,
her
taking nothing
lane.
away from
In her
Beyonce.
lane.
Yeah.
yeah, she like
Stay
she,
in
And
her
I'm not
lane.
even saying that there wasn't a good country song that she did. I'm just saying that she has not been a country artist. She hasn't earned that.
Waterburger know you're cheating
There
on
it
him.
goes. There he goes again, folks.
Great
He
Future
got his
star.
food for himself
Great grasshopper.
and goes to his room.
I'm not surprised. I tried to get her to come back inside. My cats.
I can do it.
There are fur babies for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just have to keep them safe from Tabitha. I'm just kidding. She loves Grace. She ain't too happy about Tostito ever, but she loves Grace. She thinks he's a lazy tomcat. He kind of is.
What's wrong with that?
He just wants to
okay.
come in
I'm a
and
lazy tomcat too.
Yeah.
She grew up a farmer, so her idea of a cat is you better get out there and hunt the mice.
Yep, go
Keep
catch
the
something.
population down.
And I agree that the way I grew up, the mentality on the farm, on the
Yep.
ranch, the dogs were outside, the dogs were,
Everything had a
the
job.
cat, everything.
But you
Yeah,
know-
there was a purpose for everything.
And I don't disagree with it per se. However, when you get into domesticated animals, you have to understand that there is a degree of losing. I don't even know how to word it properly, but they have lost some of those instincts. They can't always survive
True.
out there. You have to
True.
supplement
Just like
their
people.
food.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, throw us out there and tell us to go catch a rabbit, you know?
Yeah.
With
Like-
nothing.
Be a bunch
mean,
of starving
ain't gonna happen.
SOBs.
Y'all, how many of y'all, like, we didn't have air conditioning. We had the box fans in the open window
You
seats.
damn right.
Can you imagine us now? or
Oh,
our
yeah,
kids
no.
having to live without AC. Holy crap!
I
no
grew, I
TV.
grew up without
Yeah.
AC until we
Or
moved
TV,
to
yeah.
Texas.
No TV in the bedroom.
Oh yeah, or you only had 3 channels, 4, 5, or
Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
Maybe channel 9.
And you had to get up and go change the channel.
There was
Rabbit ears.
There was one time in my life early on that we had an extra black and white TV that I got to have in my room for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And
How
that was the
big?
only. It was little. And I literally got to watch.
wide, and-
I literally got to watch reruns of Johnny Carson at night on it. That was
Hell
pretty
yeah.
much it. That's all I was going to
Johnny
get. I didn't
Carson.
have cable or anything like that.
And the
But
stations
even-
went off at what, 11?
Yeah.
I
After-
just
Or
went
midnight.
to
pretty much
Oh,
after Johnny
I can't
Carson.
remember,
Depends
yeah.
on the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
But Johnny Carson, people don't. Johnny Carson used to be like
Before Jay Leno.
which
Yeah.
Jay Leno's gone too.
Yeah.
It was a Jimmy Fallon. There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
He's
Today's-
the OG.
Yeah. And there was even one before Johnny Carson. I can't remember his name.
Oh, the Beatles played on his show and
Yeah.
all that.
Ed Sullivan?
Ed Sullivan. There
show.
you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
You see, that's how damn old we are. Ed Sullivan. That was like, wasn't that? Didn't he do the War of the Worlds thing too? Or no, that was a radio.
No,
that was
dog.
Or
Hey Siri,
Orville Redenbacher.
who did the War of the Worlds?
The War of the Worlds is a science fiction novel by H.G. Wells. It was
Wells.
published in 1898.
Yeah, but that's not the radio show that it was on.
No, when it sent everybody into panic.
Orwell.
Orwell. That sounds right.
George Orwell. Is that right? It was a popular radio show, and
Hey,
I
Siri.
wasn't alive for it, but I
Who
was
did the radio
old enough
show
to
War
remember
of
it
the
being talked
Worlds?
about.
Orson Welles did the
Orson
radio
Welles.
show
Welles.
War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
This is from Wikipedia.
Good old Wikipedia.
Get your dictionary out and look it up.
Yeah. Well,
I
that's
used
funny
to
though.
hate
Orson
Remember the
Welles,
encyclopedia?
Orson Welles and H.G. Wells.
People would go
Is there a
door to
connection
door selling encyclopedia, and that's
Yeah.
how you learned everything. Like I remember,
there? Oh, the
actually
Pennies
bought-
catalog, the Sears catalog, the Pennies catalog.
Oh,
Yeah,
That is crazy.
the
the
lingerie,
bathing suit and lingerie section.
the panties and bras.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a boy in puberty, you know. those-
Hey, National Geographic, bro.
but you know
Tell
what?
me you
First-
did not look at
First
National
titty you ever seen?
It was a lot cleaner than what the kids are looking at now.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Not to say that it was okay to be drooling over that stuff, but boys will be boys.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
But
it was
compared-
a hell of a lot cleaner than what they're looking at now.
Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't even want to go down that deep, dark alleyway.
No, the stuff you learned,
Yeah.
like. Sorry, Dad, if you watch this, but my dad was one of those. In his bathroom, he would keep a stack of magazines.
Yeah.
I always had to go to the bathroom,
Playboy,
Dad's
Playboy,
bathroom, and
yeah.
look at those. And like, oh my gosh.
But even then, at that, the Playboys weren't.
No.
Raunchy.
It wasn't
Yeah, they
distasteful.
were pretty.
If-
They were.
now, if you got to the Hustlers
Tastefully
or
done
the
for
Cherry or
Yeah.
Some of
Those
that
were
stuff
a
was
little-
pretty
Yeah.
raunch.
Yeah, those were like pornos in a magazine.
But even that stuff was nothing compared to what they have now.
no.
I mean, again,
Oh
we're
my
not even.
gosh.
We'll touch
Look
on
at
it,
that.
but we're not going. No, you spoke him into. Is he
My
watching our
dad's calling.
podcast?
I don't know.
He's watching our podcast.
I'll have to
But
call
we're
you
not
back,
live.
Pops.
We haven't posted this yet.
That's funny.
That is real weird, dude. That is real weird. Are we doing something wrong? Is Jesus trying to tell
I
us?
know it, man. Damn, that like gave me chills. Dad's checking in.
Yep. Man, I'm real tempted to buy some more of this AABB right now.
Squirrel.
Yeah, well,
Hey, you
I
gotta
gotta
stay on it.
multitask here, you know?
I can't.
5 minutes, you could lose it all.
Yeah.
I cannot multitask.
No,
No.
depends.
I have to concentrate on what I'm doing.
I like this YouTube collection, speaking of squirrel. It does the words on it.
Oh yeah, I
pretty
see
cool.
that.
Yeah. We can get all nostalgic and actually learn some of the words that we've been singing.
Thought we
along
do.
all these years.
Like that whole wrapped up like a douche. In
Yeah.
the middle of the night.
It's a deuce.
Blinded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a deuce.
But for years,
I've sung it the other way for
Douche.
30 years.
yeah.
Blinded by the light.
wrapped up like,
Like
a
a
douche,
douche,
another runner in the night.
I just had this conversation with someone not that long ago.
Yeah.
It was Tabitha. We were in the truck, and we were talking to William about it. And I told her, I was like, "It's Deuce." Yeah, but it doesn't sound like he says it. I don't. I know what it sounds like, but
Yeah.
it is Deuce. Wrapped up like a deuce, another runner in the night. You had it right.
Yep.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, but there's a lot.
I would
of
hate to think how many songs have
lot
been
of
singing wrong. Like
Pour
an
Some
idiot.
Sugar on Me. I mean, people have butchered that for
Yeah,
decades.
That's right.
That's funny because that's the one that there was a commercial made of that was making fun of saying the wrong lyrics. It was
Yeah.
like pour some sure top of ramen or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
But the pour some sugar on me wasn't really the part that people messed up. I can't even think of that right now.
Me neither.
Def Leppard.
Lots of those. Oh yeah, love me some Def Leppard.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's a topic we could talk about forever. Music.
Music? Oh, gosh.
And again, we got 3 people here that absolutely love our music. You know, something that
Yep.
I just strongly feel that we have the best music of all time.
They haven't
Our-
made a
I would
good.
agree.
Our generation had some of the best stuff out of all the categories.
The best
Yeah.
movies. You
the
damn right.
music. I mean,
So all they do is remake our movies.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they ruin
And
them.
then ruin them.
It's like,
Some of them,
man,
yeah. Some
Yeah.
of them they do a pretty good job, but most of them,
Make a new
most of
movie.
them are not.
Don't
as
ruin
good.
one of our
Show your
classics.
creative-
Yeah, Total Recall. What the hell were they thinking on that movie? That's not. They should have just called it something else. It wasn't even the same movie.
Yeah.
Why even call it Total Recall?
It's awful. It really is.
Yeah. But they did. I mean, you know, there's been some good movies after our informative years. that
Yeah,
have
no,
come
there's some.
out.
There's handfuls of them. But
I would say that right now, though, is some of the worst movies that have been made
in the past
since
3
there's been
years,
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I get the feeling, kind of steering it back towards politics. I get the feeling that Hollywood has suffered probably the worst out of any entity post-COVID with whatever all this stuff that's been going on with the government, with
Yeah.
the liberals. Hollywood backed the radical left so strongly
did.
that they are now falling apart.
Yeah.
So they could be mutts, immoral mutts.
It's part of their downfall.
That's right.
Part of their downfall. They were smelling the power, and they had
sure.
it. And it was some of the music too. Diddy, those guys.
All linked right together.
Yeah, they had that power, and they used
right.
that power
Abused it.
and abused the hell out of it.
Yep. I
now-
wish it would fall, completely collapse.
Yeah. So when's the last time that you heard of Hollywood putting out a big blockbuster?
It's been a minute.
It's all freaking the weird Netflix
Yeah.
and all these smaller
Yeah.
movie makers
Which
making.
they do some good
They do
movies.
some good movies, but
They do have some good
You know what's funny? They do some great movies with absolutely terrible endings. It's like you're
Yes.
enthralled through the whole movie, and then you get to the end, and you're like,
You're pissed.
"What?
Yeah.
What just happened?
Just
Is it really
wasted 2
over?"
hours,
Yeah,
and I don't even know what ends up happening.
yeah, just absolute trash. You know, good build up, good sequencing, not too bad on the effects considering what they had to
Yeah.
work with, and then take a big dump at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Awfulness.
Man, we seriously went on a
Yeah.
We're almost at an
a
hour.
rabbit trail there. We hadn't even been touching on some of the topics that I had, which is fine.
Yeah.
Are we going to try to stay around a certain time, or
I don't know. I think we maybe be organic with it.
yeah,
Just when when we feel it. We'll probably get a little more polished with time frames.
well, yeah. This is the first one.
But,
This is a first
mean,
actual one we're going to post.
Yeah, another plug for the one of the other great podcasts out there, the Y-Files. You know, AJ and Hecklefish. I don't know if you guys have ever watched
No, I
Y-Files.
haven't.
It's
No.
pretty crazy. They have some good conspiracy theory stuff. I love the way AJ does his stuff. He puts this crazy conspiracy theory out there, goes through the whole story like you would hear it, like you would read it on the internet, and then at the end, he squashes the hell out of it. He debunks the whole damn thing. Sometimes there's a few of them that are not debunkable. You know, they're actually, you know, it's like, well, this could be true. Like the whole moon landing thing, which for the longest time I was dead set against the whole conspiracy theory on the moon landing. But the deeper I dove into it, kind of chipping away on me. It's like, this could be legit that they faked it.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been to the moon. I don't know if we've ever sent any human beings there. The Van Allen radiation belt is the biggest argument against
it. If we had been there, why would we need this drone up there scouting things out? I mean, I understand why they're doing that. They're going to start mining up there and shit.
The level of poor management over the entire NASA moon landing thing is so bad that it's almost hard to believe that they went.
Yeah.
How do you... For one, they never really did a good broadcast for the people. Mm-hmm. They refused.
Yeah.
They projected this stupid thing on a wall.
Yeah.
And it looked terrible. You couldn't see anything.
Mm-hmm. No details.
Refused to show the original recordings. And then lost them. Lost the original recordings.
Really?
Not only that, but if you talk to the NASA guys now about going back to the moon, well, we can't. We had the technology and we lost it. Nobody wrote it down. Nobody knows how. They will that's literally what I promise you, look it up. They don't know how to go back. We don't have the technology anymore. Bullshit. That really makes me have a hard time believing we ever went. Just because of that. That and the Van Allen radiation belt.
What is that?
There's a radiation belt
live
just
in a bubble.
There's a radiation belt just outside of our atmosphere that is so severe that nothing can live through it. You try to travel through it and you die, basically. The only way to protect is lead shielding. Mm-hmm. Well, lead shielding's too heavy. You'll never get off the ground. Mm-hmm. So the astronauts had aluminum. They had an aluminum shield, which would have melted. Scientifically, a scientist can get on any show and tell you that aluminum shield would have melted.
Yeah, that's right.
It makes it hard to believe that they went to the moon and lived through it.
Yeah.
I mean, they tried to send several animals that died going through the Van Allen radiation belt. Mm-hmm. A monkey, a dog.
That's right.
The Russians.
They say if you penetrate that it lets,
Their excuse was that they went really fast. Okay, well, the math ain't mathin' for me because it still takes a couple hours to get through it. They would have been dead.
That's crazy.
We can't go that fast and then slow down.
That's just some more of our wonderful government giving us a...
Now, in defense, there are some arguments for all of it that I haven't really looked into lately. So, I mean, I still lean toward we went to the moon, but after watching some of that stuff, I'm a little more skeptical about whether or not we went. So, I don't know. The fact that we still haven't gone back. And
it still makes sense.
There's always a reason not to go back. And the biggest one, the fact that they can sit there and look the people in the eye and say, we don't have the technology anymore.
Yeah.
I need to find that clip.
I did not know.
We got to figure out how to do that on this too, to be able to play
that.
clips of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
Wow. We lost the technology.
We lost the technology. They destroyed the equipment and didn't write anything down and recorded over the original video footage, or lost it altogether. One of those.
But we've
That's
kept
not
all
even a
the
good
we've
lie.
kept all the,
It's a terrible
weather
lie.
information for the past 200 years. You know what I mean? Like they
That's
could
right.
tell you.
Yeah, they start talking about weather stuff. DARPA. Is it DARPA? Is that how they... HARP and
HARP.
DARPA. HARP and DARPA.
Yeah.
Two entities, and they both had control over the ionosphere changing technology.
That's right.
And it's still there.
I think they're still using it in full
Well, the
force.
army, or the military, I don't know if it was the army, whatever branch it was, the military packed up camp and gave it over to, they stripped it down and then gave it over to DARPA, I think, or whatever, something like that. I might be saying it wrong, but it's something along those lines.
Yeah.
But even if they did, that means that they either didn't get the results they wanted, which is possible, or they did. They stripped it down, and now it's gone top secret.
Yeah,
Or
that's
above
right.
top secret.
That's
Because
probably
that's
more
big
like
stuff.
it. Yep.
Yeah.
That's probably way more like it.
Yeah, we can do lots of conspiracy theory stuff. I think we'll probably get pulled down those rabbit trails a few times here and there.
For sure.
Most definitely.
Interesting
For sure.
stuff. Our government has
Oh, the head rat.
done some stuff.
You bet you. Definitely the head of the snake.
Yeah, I mean, murdered Kennedy. That's coming out now, finally, after decades.
It is.
Nixon was innocent, more or less, as much as a politician can be innocent.
Yeah.
Right.
They just wanted him out. I don't remember the details on that. There was something, it'll come to me eventually. But
Yeah, I like them. That new show about the files.
oh, Nixon was going to give he was either going to give the information about the moon landing, or he was going to give information about Kennedy's assassination. And that was when, after that, shortly after, they impeached him.
Yeah.
They found that stuff and impeached him.
The hell out of here.
Yeah.
Shut up.
The government has done a good job of making people disappear
True.
whenever
That's what they do.
Yes.
Very, very true.
Just a missing person.
Particularly the Clintons. I hope they don't come after me. They can make some people disappear. Pure speculation, for the record. Don't come after me. I mean, that's real stuff, though. People getting run over by cars because they were going to put out some technology and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
That's
The
exactly
dude
right.
that was going to... There was a guy, and this could be complete garbage, but it's a true story. I just don't know if what he was claiming was real. He was in the military, and he was one of the people, they compartmentalized everything, but he was one of the people in the room when another guy that came in that wasn't supposed to be in there said, by the way, they found something on the dark side of the moon. And it was the secret alien military base or whatever. And after 30 years, he was going to go on record to Congress and state what he knew. And the next day, he got ran over by a car and was killed.
Yeah. I totally believe it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing our government won't do
Yeah.
to cover
Cover
up
up.
what they're doing.
Every single person that has claimed that they have maybe I'm stating that too strongly, but let's just say that there have been like 5 people that have come out and claimed that they had renewable free energy that they had created,
Yeah.
and they all died.
Yeah.
They were all killed
Same thing with the guy that created like in the 50s, the
Tesla?
engine that ran on water.
What? Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
he's one of them I'm
yeah,
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
on.
Yep. And now they've got this thing that's coming out where they can pull fuel out of the atmosphere.
I've been reading about that.
So
I've
you mean
never
to
heard
tell
of
me?
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought that, and I'm being facetious now, but I thought that fuel was created by all the plants and dinosaurs and stuff that died and got compressed over all that time, and then they dug them out of the ground. Voila, we got oil.
And now they've figured out how to run off of some kind of fuel in the air.
So if you can pull usable fuel that's compatible with today's engines, is what they're claiming,
Yeah.
which means that it's very similar to
Yeah.
the fuel we're using now, then that tells me that fuel does not come from dinosaurs and plants that died millions of years ago.
Nope.
I need to start getting on the computer more, and because
Yeah.
like I said,
Toyota's got this brand new.
Yeah.
I mean, they said it produces more horsepower than a regular engine.
Yeah.
Like, it's supposed to be.
Well, your electric
Next
ones
level.
do too, but we can talk about that too, which is the renewable energy for electric vehicles is a joke
Yeah.
because
They
it's not
kinda-
renewable.
They got a diesel plant running around the corner, running
Yeah,
with
it's
a
not-
cord plugged into it.
It's not renewable. Not only is it not renewable, but we rely on China for all of the magnetics that we need for those vehicles.
That's right.
And China is saying, guess what? You want to tariff us? We're not going to give you any metals.
Yeah.
They can literally shut down our... we use those for more than our EVs. We use those in our regular cars too.
Yeah.
They could really put a hurting on us with that. That's something we're going to have to solve. as a country.
But that's the whole thing. I guarantee you, it can be made right here in the United States. Somebody here can make it.
There was something, because, you know, with my stock trading, I try to keep up with this stuff. There was something about a mine that they were working on trying to get the whatever. I'm not skilled in knowing the certifications and all that crap that they have to get in order to drill or mine.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of hoops you got to jump through. Environmentally, it's
Yeah.
got to be safe and all that, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Right.
And this is one that, like, people like Bill Gates are buying stock in it, and it's like literally sub-penny stock right now.
Mm-hmm. It's fixing to go boom.
Yeah. I think this
right.
one was in North Carolina or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny because they...
Is that that's not the iron
No, it's not
deposit.
iron.
No.
They found
The biggest iron. Where was that at?
I don't remember.
I know that they just found the biggest gold thing in China.
They are. Yeah.
They're just kicking us in the teeth right
Yeah.
now with stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only good thing that you can say about that is, you know, we're moving toward Bitcoin as a reserve. What do they call it?
Yeah, I've seen what's China or Japan. One of them over there is phasing out the dollar. They're switching to their currency to something. I've seen
Well, I know
caught a
that-
glimpse of it yesterday.
I know that China and Russia haven't been using the dollar
Yeah.
for quite a while.
Yeah.
And there was a group that was working on.
Or they're using the ruble or
Yeah.
some
I'm
weird
trying to
crap.
remember. That was some of those oil countries over there were working on getting together and creating that. The whole group was talking about not using the dollar as their reserve
Yeah.
currency, and that would have significantly hurt the value of the dollar if they had gone through with
Yeah.
that. And they have since gone away from that. I need to look up what
Well, and you know, it don't
that
hurt.
organization was. BRICS.
Yeah.
BRICS.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So that's another thing we can get into on one of our podcasts coming up. At some point, probably be cool to have this set up to where we let some of our feedback kind of dictate some of the things
Where
that we
we
talk
go.
about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, any feedback, y'all shoot messages or whatever, however you can.
Our one follower. We're gonna have at least 3 followers.
Yeah, y'all have something y'all want, and man, put it on there.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you agree, disagree,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. We're
And
open
only
to all
gonna-
views.
We're only going to improve on our format. I mean,
That's right.
my thoughts on it, and you know, I took the notes for today's, and you know, a lot of times we don't even have to use the notes, but at least it helps us get started.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gives us something if we're
kick this off
get some
today.
dead air space.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like I said, we seem to have.
And there's some topics that hey, there's a lot that I don't. That's
Yeah.
when you'll see me just kind of sit over here.
Well, and that's what I'm talking about. We can improve if we, like, I did the research by myself, and
Right.
I didn't share it with you guys.
Yeah.
yeah, you
Kinda
did
did it
share
last-
it.
I did it
you
last-
didn't share it.
I did it last second.
Yeah.
But I was thinking last night.
That's why
okay,
they call him One-Way
in the-
Jamie.
Yes. Yeah, I've got many
That
tickets.
didn't sound very
I've got
good.
many tickets.
No, I need it. A lot of it,
But
of
that's
course,
the-
it's my fault. Like, at home, I don't. We have TV, but we have like Netflix, Hulu. I don't have cable where I watch the news, and
That's why
I
I picked
tend
up
to
Hulu.
not.
That's why I
look
picked up
on
the
the
live
phone
Hulu
that
Live or
much. Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
I got the package with the Disney and all that, paying more than I want to, but I get local news and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
plenty of stuff.
I got all that shit. I go on my phone.
You can get it on, there's, and you can look anything up, but you just
Yeah.
have to be careful.
Yeah, you
with
got to
your
watch.
source because they're going to
That's
put their
right.
spin on it. That's why I like
True.
OAN actually. Another, we need to pick up some of these sponsors. We're throwing
Right.
them some love. They can throw us some love.
Yeah.
But OAN, they give you the sources and they let you know, like, this is 25% red, 30% neutral, and 50% blue. You know, that sort of thing. So you know how much of it is from a neutral source, how much of it are considered a neutral source. You still have to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, how much of it is left and how much of it is right.
very cool.
Now, I don't pay for it. I just, because there is the premium service. I'm too poor for that. Maybe if we get some sponsors.
Sponsors are great.
Hit the like and subscribe button. We got to get a
That's
million
funny.
views.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can say that. Right?
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Leave comments, all that good stuff.
Please. Please.
But in the future, because I was thinking about it last night, I was like, yeah, I need to be more on top of it. Look this stuff up, share it with each other, so that we're able to at least prepare a little bit. Because
Well, yeah,
there's some fun to not being prepared at all.
No, 100%.
But at the same time,
Kinda
we have to have
shooting off
some
the cuff.
knowledge about what we're
Yeah.
talking about. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Getting no smarter than us three, shit. You got a question, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Given time and the internet, there's just about nothing you can't find. Might be full of fluff and BS. Big cow patty, but
Oh,
we're
yep.
gonna throw something out there.
Yeah,
Make it
It'll
sound
stick.
throw something, see if it sticks.
Yeah. Well, what time we got?
I think it's a good time to
Wrap it up for the day.
wrap it up for the
11:43.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a good start here. This one we did better this time than last time.
Definitely would love feedback.
So yes, like and subscribe. Give us feedback in the comments, and we'll do our best to work on putting out more content. We're going to try to start getting weekly,
Yes.
at the very least twice a month, but really like to do it weekly and
Yeah.
go from there.
I think weekly's doable.
Yeah, me too.
So let's try this. What was that?
Oh, we're going to try one of those fancy transition
we're
things?
cheering. We're cheering now. I can't hear it.
That may be something you have to add in when you're editing.
Maybe so. Yeah.
We're
I was
learning.
going to try to do the.
We're learning. We're three old cats trying to learn technology
Yeah, it's so much fun.
and how to do this.
I don't even know where that went. Where we were looking at the intro music and the
In,
exit
when you're
music and
editing, you got to do it in
only in
editing.
the editing.
Yeah.
Getcha. Okay.
Oh.
Anyways, all right.
Enjoyed it. Look forward to next time.
Absolutely.
Three Musketeers.
Yes.
All right. All right, everybody. Have a
Till
blessed
next
day.
Have a blessed week.